direct them to the student Moodle orientation on their homepage, and direct them to the student exchange forum, which is essentially just a group thread for people to exchange their ideas and thoughts and ask questions, okay? With that being said, if we scroll down, you got your My Courses. All instructors should have a shell for their spring courses, both online and blended. On the left side of the page, again, underneath the Drury insignia for your homepage, whenever you post up announcements into your classes, you have your latest announcements post here. And then off the bottom, you can do a number of things with configuring reports and things of this nature. Some of these things probably won't be available to you until the class goes active. Messaging, for example, quick emails, things like that. Okay. That's part of that process. On the left here, do you guys have a navigation and administration tabs on the upper left?
No.
Do you have administration or navigation in the column there underneath the Drury insignia? Forward, let's go down to My Courses. I'm going to simply click on your course that you'll be teaching that's grayed out.
Okay.
And this will take you to your course shell. We'll give you a moment to get turned into there. Okay, one of the things about Moodle that's a little bit different from Blackboard is that with Blackboard, you can just leave your editing mode on. And no matter when you logged in, logged out, it was always there. With Moodle, you got to turn it on every time you log into your class. So keep that in the back of your mind. All right, so in the top right, you should see a tab that says Turn Editing On. Go ahead and select that so that we're in the editing mode. And now if I logged out and then logged back into my class later this afternoon, I'd have to go back and turn editing mode on. Also keep in mind that whenever you turn the editing mode off, that is also what your students will see, okay? So with that being said, with the turning mode on, now off to the left, you see here where it says Quick Mail, Messages, Calendar, Activities, and Add a Block. The nice thing about Quick Mail is that this is an email directly to the student's email. Okay, if you remember in Blackboard, the message system in Blackboard was essentially just internal within the class. But this is an actual email to their actual email addresses. Directly below that is your messages. And then the messages within Moodle, again, is just like Blackboard messaging. Okay, it's an internal program. It's messaging within your class itself. And again, using the messages is a pretty straightforward process. You just want to compose a message, you just click on messages, you can compose it. You can respond to the person if you want to. But below that is the calendar. And the calendar, again, you know, for those of you who like calendars, feel free to use this and explore it. It's a pretty straightforward process. You just simply click on the month of the particular calendar date. It opens things up and gives you a wide line of different things you can do and create different views. And you can, you know, essentially manage your different courses that you want to put in there, your different activities. And now if you hover your mouse over that says navigation, in the upper right here, you see a little arrow key that says unlock or dock. If you click it, it'll dock it over to the left and tab it for you. If you untab it or unlock it, it'll tab it back over into the actual block section. Now in Blackboard, these blocks are very similar to what would be your content links, where you saw your syllabus and policies about the instructor, you know, discussions, you know, all those things. It's the same setup here in the blocks. And using that dock or undock capability, you can structure your course classroom to look how you feel best to use it. Personally, I like to keep my navigation administration docked. I usually keep my quick mail messages and calendar undocked. Now, this left section of the page are called blocks. And each of these different blocks, in this case, quick mail, messages, calendar, navigation, administration, all right, these all can be addressed here by add a block. So if you click on that drop down, here are all the different types of blocks that you can add to that side over there. And all these do different things, okay? But the main blocks are already there for you in your temp shell or in your course shell. So if you want to go in and maybe add something else in there, that's fine. Again, it's just a matter of, what you want to do for your class, okay? So with that being said, if we look at the administration tab, this is the tab that's going to give you access to your class and really be the sort of the control panel in Blackboard. If you remember on Blackboard and control panel, you had all types of things you can do down there. This is the same thing. Here you can turn your editing on and off. You can edit settings. You can go to your enrolled users, enroll users, okay? You can do different types of reports. All right, here's your grades and your gradebook setup, very important. And we're going to all click on gradebook setup. Okay, this is our gradebook setup tab, and this takes us to our gradebook setup. The first thing I want you to do is scroll down to the bottom of the page, and you see where it says here, Moodle Docs for this page. Any page you are on will always have that link there. So if you're on a page, you're like, what is this? Scroll to the bottom, click on Moodle Docs, it'll take you right to that page. In the gradebook setup, you can set up your grade totals, you can add categories, and here you just decide your category name. Let's say you want to set up quizzes or extra credit or paper 1 or paper 2 or paper 3, project 1. This is where you can set it in. And then as you move through the different options that are available to you, you see these little question marks? Again, let's just click on the next one to aggregation. Click on that grade, that little question mark. Now we can get even more detailed information about Moodle, about that specific thing within that page. Let's go back up to the Drury University logo. Again, using our cookies, and we can simply click on our course name, and it'll take us back to our course page. Now, in Blackboard, we're used to having our announcements page being the very first thing that students see when they log in, and I'm sure each of you are used to typing in your, welcome to week 2 announcement, maybe type in an announcement, grades have been posted for the week, or maybe you've got a change, or maybe there's, well, we don't have that feature with Moodle anymore, okay? What we do have is what we call our introductory block. And this block right here is where you can set up your announcements. And we've already put that in there by creating an announcements thread. Now that announcements thread, if we click on it, is just like any forum. Okay, all you would do is add a topic, and all you would have to do at that point is type in your announcement. Okay, so I'm going to add a Q&A thread in here. Everything that you're going to do within each of these particular sections, all right, will be coming through this function down here, add an activity or a resource. If you remember in Blackboard, at the top of each page, you have the 4 tabs. Build item, assessments, publish your materials, and those tabs. This is essentially the same thing. So I'm going to click on that, and it's going to bring up a list of everything that you can do in that section. So in this instance, I want to create a forum for a question and answer forum. So I'm going to come over here and I'm going to click on forum. All right, and there are several different types, but I'm going to add it. And now it takes me to my forum editing page. And now I can type in my forum name. In this instance, I'm going to type in Q&A forum. Now, I had copied my verbiage from my other class by simple copy paste. And all I'm going to do is paste it right in there like that. So once we're adding this new forum, okay, I've entitled it, I've given it a description. All right, now here's the big thing, forum type. If you hover it over the question mark, here are the different types. You have a single simple discussion. You have a single post discussion from one person. The Q&A forum, here's the one that's a little bit different. In Blackboard, you had 2 options. You had the option which was standard, where everyone could see things and post up, or you had the second option where participants had to post up a discussion initial response before they review everyone else's, which helps us to avoid that whole issue of piggybacking on other people's responses within forums. The Q&A forum in Moodle is that same type of discussion forum. So for those of us who like to ensure our students genuinely answer the initial discussion question before they can view subsequent posts and respond to their classmates, I would select the Q&A forum. In this instance, this is just my question and answer forum. It's not a regular discussion forum, so I'm just going to use standard forum for general use, which is an open forum where anyone can start new posts or respond to anyone else. So that's what I would select. In this case, a standard forum. Everything else, for now, we're going to leave defaulted. So all I'm going to simply do is save and return to course.